So I have gotten some requests from a few people on how to make a cosmetic for Dodgebolters. So this video is going to go through the basics and a few advanced steps that you can take to make it more likely that your cosmetic will be approved. With that, let's get straight into it. I'm not going to waste any time. So firstly, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need this tool called Blockbench, a modeling software made specifically for Minecraft. So if you don't have it installed already, you're going to want to go to blockbench.net. Just hit download, or optionally you can open the web app, but it is recommended that you get the proper download. Just hit download and select your version. Should be simple enough from there. Just install it. Okay. Once you have that installed, you should be met with a home screen that will look pretty similar to this. So the first thing we're going to want to do is simply scroll down to Java block/item and create a new model. We're going to be creating an accessory here. I'm not going to be spending too much time on it. I don't want this to be dragged out. You can call it whatever you want. It does not really matter. But let's just make a simple cube with a smiley face on it. So what I just did there is I pressed this plus icon and I resized it, right? You can access your tools from up here, move, resize, rotate, everything like that. Also, ensure that your format version is set to 1.21.11 plus. So, if you want to rotate, this is going to be it's a little optional, but you'll want to set the pivot point to where you want it to be rotated around. See how it rotates straight from the middle? So modeling is pretty simple. It takes a bit of effort and some learning, but with enough time you do get used to it. Texturing is where it can get a little bit more confusing. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to firstly go over here and press create texture. We have a texture. You can rename it to whatever you want. I will personally fix anything up that you have not done correctly. As long as I have the time in future, I might reinforce that you make everything correct yourself. But for now, I have plenty of time on my hands. You simply create a texture. This is our UV map. A UV map it shows what each face of our funny cube here is displaying. Look at the top face, how the top face is all white. If we click up, see how the top face is covering the white blocks here? If we move this, it becomes exactly what it looks like over here. If you put it over here, it's completely invisible. So, what we want to do is we want to switch over to paint mode up in the very top right of our screen. And paint mode allows us to do exactly that. You can paint whatever you wish onto your objects. So there's a paint bucket tool, which you will often use to fill in entire faces or colors, elements, anything like that. You can set the opacity, you can erase an entire face. You've also got the paintbrush, which is pretty obvious. Let's draw a little smiley face here. We've got a little happy guy. As you can see on our UV map, it's being updated dynamically. Sometimes the UV map can be a bit behind or a bit ahead. If this happens, just make like one or two more changes, do that, and then it should be all fine. You can change the brush size. Not often will you change this. Usually you'll have it at 1. It's just pretty simple. But yeah, once you've got a texture that you're happy with, this is clearly not something that you should be happy with, but there's no need to spend much time on it, at least in this situation. I would highly recommend that you do spend some good time, put some really amazing effort into it for your own cosmetic. You can simply save your texture. We save it. It does not matter where you save it, but if you don't even have to save it, you can just leave it. You can just cancel if you want to. But I would highly recommend you do save it in case something goes wrong, Blockbench crashes, which it doesn't do often. But if it does, you will lose all your progress if you don't have it saved. Um, so do save your textures. And if you wish, also save your project, which will be required later. So once we're done with the model and the texture, we can go over to display. There's me in all my amazing glory. So here we can change how it looks in your hand. This is not something you necessarily have to do. I'm happy to do it myself if you don't, as long as you have the consent to changes tag on your model, on your submission. You can rotate. It is important to mention that the rotations are a little bit weird. Set my pose angle to 0. For some reason, when you rotate, the y-axis is horizontal and the x-axis is vertical. In most cases, it's a bit different. It depends. Now, if you've done this, you do not have to, but if you have, then you should be all set. That's pretty much it. Accessories in particular allow a lot of freedom. You can do really whatever you want as an accessory, and there's a good chance it'll get accepted, as long as it has some quality put into it. Now, there are a few more things that are important for accessories. Firstly, there is a Chroma system coming in this update, which means that most accessories, hopefully, preferably all, have some sort of feature in them that can be recolored. And the way you do this in Blockbench is actually pretty simple. Um, this part's not necessary, but I would highly recommend you click File, go to Plugins, click Available, and then search up Tint Preview. See, this is it'll be here. There'll be an install button around here. Just close that up. Restart if you need to. Save your model first, of course. Then once you have that installed, go down to here, face properties. When you are selecting an object that you wish to make like recolorable, you're gonna go here to face properties, and then for each face, you can select the tint. Oops, sorry, that's actually nope, that's good. See, the tint can be enabled on a face to tell Minecraft to tint it. In vanilla, tint can only be used by specific blocks such as leaves and redstone dust, which can only have a value of 0. That's not important, really. I don't know why I've read that out. I'm sorry. But tint is essentially it colors. It colors a face like to a different color. So as we can see here, if I tint the upper face, it becomes orange. This is because my tint color is set to an orange. I don't know where it is. I don't want it to be, but it's there. As you can see, tint. Sorry, I'm not good at explaining things. Tint works in a way so that the lighter a color, the more affected by the tint it is. So fully white is exactly the color that tint is set to, while fully black is completely unaffected. So I can draw black here. It looks very black. Let's give him an angry face. No, okay. He's raised an eyebrow. Cool. um, if I hover over this by holding Alt and color pick, it's still white, as you can see. If I go to my tint color and I change it to a beautiful shade of green, the face becomes green. Right? It's pretty simple. It's not too difficult to understand, hopefully. So that's something you'll probably want to do. It's a little bit important. If you don't, once again, if you don't do it, there is a chance I might do it. There's a chance I might not. There will probably be a systems for non-colorable items to not have chromas. So, it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but I would highly recommend that you do that. So, Now we're on to file saving. This is how you're going to share it with me. You're going to hit File, Save Project. You can just pop it in your downloads, it doesn't matter. And you can just name it whatever you wish, .bbmodel. And we hit Save, and it's saved as accessory.bbmodel. Now, a BB model file has everything that you can see here in it. It includes the model, it includes the textures, it includes the display, it includes like literally everything that I need to get your cosmetic into the game. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a few screenshots. And this is simply so that I don't have to download the file myself to see what you've made. What we're going to do is we're first going to actually head over here. We're going to go new post, right? You're going to hit this button, and I'm going to have to censor all my stuff. You're going to search for, sorry. Yeah, you're not going to search for it. You're going to find it. There it is. You've got your accessory.pv model. You're going to upload that. It'll be right here. You don't need to modify it, you don't need to spoiler it. It's just there. You're good. Name your thread whatever you wish for it to be. We'll call it Smiley Guy. Then you're going to select Accessory. And if you wish for me to be able to change your cosmetic at any time without alerting you, you can click Consent to Changes. All right? If you don't check this off, then I am not allowing anyone to change your cosmetic, no matter what. Okay? The only person that's allowed to make changes is you. And which means if we need changes, we will reach out to you, and there is a good chance that the cosmetic will be removed or temporarily disabled if you can't do that or let us do it. So, as you can see in the guidelines here, we must have an attached BB model file, and we've done that. Hooray. We then must also have at least one image taken from Blockbench's edit mode, preferably with the camera in its default position. So, how we do that? We right-click. We then go to Angles and click Initial Angle. Now here, you can zoom out if you need to, if your model is that large, but this is really all you need. So, best thing to do is hit Print Screen, or however you screenshot. Give it a moment, because my laptop's slow. Just scroll all the way over here, take a screenshot of Blockbench. I'm not sure if you actually saw that, because my system's silly. And then we just hit Control V, and it's pasted right in there. Then, once that's done, we are pretty much finished with our model. So all you need to do now is add a small splash text, just a little description for the model itself. What will appear on the lore in game. So let's say if this was to be approved, let's just say we've got ourselves a little splash text saying, "Oh he's smiling, he happy, yippee." I would suggest using some actual grammar, but it does get the message across. So all you would do is just hit post, and you are all good. That's it. That's the entire thing. All you need to do, if you want to add some more information, you're more than welcome to. Please go straight ahead. I will try to listen to everything you say. I'm gonna delete this now. um, that's pretty much it for the accessories. Bow skins are a much more advanced cosmetic to create, so huge congratulations to you if you can get through this. So, just gonna jump straight into it again. So, to get started, you'll need to, or you may wish to, download this bow skin template that I've just left here. It was on the wiki. You can get it from the wiki if you wish to, but it's also here. Once you do download that, you're going to want to click on the file, and it'll bring you to Blockbench with this open. Now, bow skins are not the easiest thing to create. There's a lot of texturing involved, a little bit of modeling. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to jump straight into it, really. Just go straight to paint and just draw yourself a beautiful texture. My texture is once again not going to be beautiful. We're going to make a smiley face guy on our bow. Return of the smiley guy. Look at him, he's so happy. Okay, this is our beautiful bow skin. As you can see, it's not great, but if you ignore my lack of skill right now, I'm not going to spend so much time on this. We can see in this outliner, sorry, I can't think right now, I'm really tired. You can see in the outliner that there is a bow, bow pulling 0, bow pulling 1, and bow pulling 2. This is for animations. If you hide the bow and you show bow pulling 0, you'll see an arrow texture. This texture can be whatever you want. You can replace it with a 3D model if you wish, but just for simplicity, in the template, it's a arrow texture. All you want to do is just draw yourself a beautiful arrow texture. It's automatically brought over to the other side. I've managed to set that all up. And there you go. Once you've done that, ensure that you close this and open up bow pulling 1 and bow pulling 2. The textures should, in theory, they should um, remain in the same place. Everything should be set up properly. All the hard UV work has been done by me. And that's pretty much it for texturing. But there is more. This is where it gets a bit more difficult. You don't have to worry about display. Display is easy enough. Sorry. Display is easy. Display's already been done. You can modify this if you wish. I'd highly recommend you don't touch the first person ones. But other than modeling, bow skins aren't that bad. Modeling is where it gets a bit difficult because it's highly recommended that you do change the model a bit, or if you really want, just make a whole new bow model yourself. You don't even have to make a bow. It doesn't have to be a bow. You could make the portal gun from Portal. You could make a trident. Actually, don't make a trident. That'd be silly. You could make a crossbow. You could make like really anything that shoots projectiles would be funny. It's like there's no real restriction. Just be creative, make stuff of your own. But what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to just edit this model however you want. Let's add a cube in the middle of the string, right? Easy. So, that's pretty simple. If you've had some practice, some self-done practice with modeling, this is fine. This isn't too bad. But then you also have to do it for pulling 0, pulling 1, and pulling 2, right? It doesn't just happen automatically. Blockbench can't do that. It's not that powerful. So if we just quickly, you can copy the cube over though. You can just go, bam, paste, easy, bam. Pulling 1 and pulling 2 is where you'll have to shift your stuff around a bit. Make sure it's put as a child correctly, as the model is split up into smaller ones by me once it gets approved. Pulling 2, pretty simple. Once again, just paste your element. If that comes up, select element. And there you go. We've got ourselves an updated bow model. That's pretty easy to do, I think. I'm sorry, I keep saying it's easy and then saying it's hard, it's easy, it's hard. My brain's fighting right now because this is like second nature for me. Anyway, um, once again, you're going to want to save all your stuff. Oh, okay, let me just undo that real quick. No. Okay, awesome. I've just messed up the texture. Let's go. That's okay, I have a save. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do the same thing that we did with our accessory. I'm not going to do it here because I will just overwrite the thing. But all you want to do is the exact same. simply upload your model, upload your texture. Sorry, don't upload your texture, upload your image like this one right here. And then both skins also have one more thing that you can choose to add, and that is an image for the arrow. If only if it's not a texture. If it's not a texture, then you should probably take an image of it, as here is a texture, so we don't need to bother. But if you make a custom model, it's highly recommended that you add a image showing it off. That's pretty much it, to be honest. Yeah, have fun, enjoy it. Try not to cry over your horrific modeling skills. Try not to make a bow skin this bad as well. That's very important. Do not make something this bad. And that's basically it. Okay, here's a little bonus tip for you guys. Animated textures. Animated textures, yes. Um, they're good. They're quite powerful. You can actually do quite a lot with them, and they're not too difficult to make. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head over here to our texture of choice, and we right click it. We right click it. What the heck? We select flipbook animation. Just give it a little tap. Then we pull up this. This is what appears. You're gonna want to either duplicate your frame or add a new one. I'm just going to duplicate and I'll do it twice. Then, as we can see, this is what appears. There is an FPS counter that will pretty much just, define. So that's the word. Define what what appears for how long. By default, it's just going to be 1, but let's set it to 5. Let's set it to 20, actually. 20 is 1 second. 1 second is 20. This is in ticks. And that's it. So what we need to do is we just need to... This is our normal texture. We're just going to set the texture, like the frame, to 2. Hit paint. And we're going to draw another line here. No, apparently we're not. Okay. There we go. Just going to draw another line. We hit back, edit. As you can see, now when we switch our frames, the line appears and disappears. So what you just need to do is just hit play. There it is. Simple. You can do this on a larger scale. Remember, you can also make parts invisible. So that's how I did the animation for the moon staff. This cube here is actually 4 cubes all rotated differently, and each frame of the animation makes one of them visible. As you can see, this is not done efficiently because I made this like a month or 5 back. But you can just get this all into one texture. It's pretty simple. You don't need to get it into one texture, but yeah, animated textures, it's pretty cool. Hopefully a helpful thing.